Now those projects don't just happen. You've got to learn how to pull all those together. And as you sit there, it's not about stepping up, and everybody hasn't got the skill sets to do this straight away. You learn by doing, you learn by getting involved. So the training aspects, you learn to speak. If you think I just got up here and I'd do this off the bat, just like that, you learn to do it. Okay? It just doesn't happen. Speaker, presenter, training, designer, learn to be a trainer. Before I joined JC's, look, I now earn a living out of training. Believe it or not. Before I joined JC's, if someone had have said within 5 years you will earn a living out of training, I would have taken $1 million bet against that. Today, that's what I do for a living. So again, you can see what can happen by being involved. Debating, public speaking, we have international competitions. You start off with local competitions in that field, you go to national competitions, you then go on to the international. And in 1983, Karen Fenton-Ellis, our 2000 World President, she was a winner of the public speaking competition early on in her year. Believe it or not, that's where it began. We have the Leadership Academy in Japan. We have local and international training opportunities that are there. Again, we have a reach of international global network of business. Now, it's a connectivity around the globe. BizNet, Nothing But Nets. The Nothing But Nets campaign is our international campaign in conjunction with the UN Millennium Development Goal to eradicate malaria throughout the world by 2015. JCI was asked to partner the UN on that program. We took it on board. We committed to raising 1 million bed nets. Now, a bed net costs $10 US. A bed net is a net that stops the mosquito getting in and biting young children in their infancy, where most of the mortality in Africa comes from. To date, since we've got involved, we are now over halfway through our target to achieving that for the United Nations. So it's a major campaign, and we're really happy to be involved with the UN on that one. The Best Business Plan, the Creative Young Entrepreneur of the Year are all individual awards that any one of you can be involved in if you take the opportunity that's available to you. 10 Outstanding Young Persons of the World. Every year, JCI runs a program to select from around the world outstanding young people. New Zealand have, and there's 2 criteria for that. They cut down all nominees to the last 30, and then from that last 30, they are re-evaluated by different judges to choose the top 10. Of all the nominees that New Zealand have put forward, we have always got into the top 30. We have had 2 go through to be chosen as one of the top 10. Hayley Westerner from Christchurch, and also Melissa Moon from Wellington as 2 of our outstanding ones. Okay, and again, last year, and I'm going to mention that he won't like me doing it, but Sam was our nominee. He got through to the top 30, but the calibre of choice last year was such, we all believe, as Grace introduced him, as a local hero, and he is. He probably is in our top 10. Unfortunately, last year he never got to that top 10, but still recognise the outstanding achievement by Sam.
Yeah.
The Global Partner Summit is something that we unite with the United Nations every single year. When the United Nations run their summit, alongside it, we run a mini summit in conjunction with that for JCI members. So it introduces people to the UN and what their goals are and everything like that. So we run that alongside that every single year. You'll also notice, if you see the JCI logo that's on the board over the side and on the UN posters, that has the UN logo in the middle of it. Now, the UN, we are not directly a partner. We are a partner, but we are not directly linked with the United Nations. However, such is the power that the UN sees in JCI. We are the only organisation that has the authority to use their logo in our branding. We also have an international person that is elected every year to sit on the UN with a direct representation to the United Nations. So again, there are opportunities that come as you grow. Where do we operate? 5,000 global communities. So exactly what we're establishing here tonight as a local community organisation, there are 5,000 around the world. We operate in 115 countries, around 200,000 members. Every year, the world is split into 4 separate areas. So we have annual conferences every year, 1 for each area, and then we have the World Congress. As a member, you are able to go to any of those conferences. You don't have to go to our Area B one, you can choose whichever one you wanted to, or the World Congress. As an aside, just as a bit of advertising, if you want to go to the area conference, it's in Hong Kong in June, from the 7th to the 10th, and we're looking at taking a delegation, hopefully of members from Christchurch and Auckland. And the World Congress will be in Taipei in November. The last part is the JCI Secretary General Edson Kadama said that nobody knows what the future holds, but we do know who it belongs to. In effect, the future belongs to you guys. As you can see, you're rebuilding Christchurch. And as I've been talking there tonight, I've made a few comments that I believe young people's opinion needs to be portrayed on a rebuild of Christchurch. It is important. By the time it is rebuilt, you will be the leaders in this society. So it's important you step up and have your say about the way it's going to operate. I want to end with this. When I joined, it was at a function like this. I sat down the back. I didn't speak unless I was spoken to. I was that shy little person. My first words, when I was asked to introduce myself, were slightly smaller than this. They asked us to introduce ourselves, and I stood up and told them my name. I pointed to the president of the time and I said, don't even try and get me up there because it ain't going to happen. 3 years later, believe it or not, without any pushing or shoving or anything, it was just me taking opportunities, I was that chapter president. 3 years after that, in 1998, I was the New Zealand National President. After that, I went on in 2000 to serve as an assistant to Karen Bisbee in her year, the 2000 World President. I've then gone on to be an international advisor for New Zealand, and now I'm the chairman of the JCI New Zealand Trust, managing and supporting the organisation Rebuild. I have had, in my time, over 30 international experiences. There's a flag down the back of the room on the table with a whole lot of pins on it. Each one of those pins represents someone that I have met at an international conference or still have a connection with today. What I'm trying to say to you guys is, this is the start of your journey. It doesn't just happen overnight. If you can take out of this as a member even half what this person standing here has got out of it, you and your community will be a far better person. All you need to do, guys, is take that little step, that first step, join JCI, be a better person, make a better community, and enjoy whatever the future holds for you. I'd like to thank you again, Grace, for the opportunity to speak tonight, and wish you every success on the start of your journey. Congratulations, JCI Christchurch.